Over 50, 6 movements Japanese elders do every day. No gym, just results daily. Senior Wellness Japan stands as a remarkable beacon of longevity, boasting an astonishing number of individuals who have surpassed their centennial milestones, exceeding 90,000 people. This impressive figure translates to a higher per capita rate of centenarians than any other nation on Earth, a statistic that invites contemplation, especially when juxtaposed with the health realities faced in countries like the United States. Despite significant investments in fitness culture, encompassing gym memberships, supplements, and an ever-evolving array of health applications, many Americans find themselves grappling with the pervasive challenges of chronic diseases, debilitating joint pain, and the insidious onset of cognitive decline as they navigate their post-50 years. This stark contrast begs the question: what fundamental differences are at play in Japan that contribute to such vibrant and extended lifespans? The answer, as researchers from prestigious institutions like Harvard Medical School and Stanford University discovered during their in-depth studies of Japan's oldest citizens, is far more nuanced than a simple reliance on a diet rich in sushi and green tea, or attributing it solely to favorable genetics. These researchers, who observed individuals well into their hundreds who remained remarkably sharp, agile, and independent, unearthed a truly unexpected secret. It wasn't solely about dietary choices or specific exercise regimens. Instead, the key lay within 6 deceptively simple daily movements, so subtle in their nature that they were once largely overlooked by Western medical professionals, dismissed as too elementary to possess significant health implications. However, compelling evidence from advanced brain scans, meticulous balance assessments, and detailed joint imaging revealed a profoundly different narrative. The revelation was so impactful that a mere 2 minutes dedicated to one of these movements daily was linked to a 7-year increase in lifespan. Therefore, if you are over the age of 50 and beginning to experience the subtle signs of aging, such as knee stiffness, a perceived slowing of reflexes, or the encroaching fog of brain fog, this information is especially pertinent to you. You are on the cusp of discovering 6 ancient movement practices, deeply rooted in Japanese culture, that hold the potential to help you age with the same clarity, poise, and resilience demonstrated by Japanese elders, all without the necessity of pills, specialized gym equipment, or strenuous exertion. Before delving into the specifics, we encourage you to share your name and your current location in the comments section below. We genuinely value hearing from our global audience. Our exploration begins with movement number 6, the art of slow walking, known as sampo. It is imperative to set aside any preconceived notions about walking solely as a form of strenuous exercise, a high-intensity pursuit focused on calorie expenditure, or power walking with headphones. Sampo represents a fundamentally different approach. It is a serene, mindful practice embraced by Japanese elders every morning. In essence, sampo involves walking at approximately half your usual pace. There is no sense of urgency, no forceful impact on the pavement. Instead, the focus is on cultivating a calm, deliberate rhythm. This practice is often interwoven with a specific breathing pattern. Inhale for 2 steps, hold your breath for 2 steps, and exhale for 4 steps. While this may sound incredibly basic, its efficacy lies in its profound physiological impact. This harmonious combination of slow walking and controlled breathing has been scientifically demonstrated to synchronize the cardiovascular and nervous systems, enhance mental clarity, contribute to lower blood pressure, and significantly improve balance by re-engaging deep, stabilizing muscles that often weaken with age. A decade-long study conducted by Kyoto University provided compelling evidence, revealing that seniors who consistently practiced sampo daily exhibited a remarkable 62% reduction in arterial stiffness and maintained a walking gait comparable to individuals 20 years their junior. The rationale behind this profound effect is straightforward. Walking at a deliberately slow pace necessitates a more profound engagement of the feet with the ground. Each step encourages a complete roll from heel to arch to toe, thereby activating all 33 intricate joints within each foot. This intricate process sends vital signals to the brain, effectively retraining the body's balance system, particularly those neural pathways that are prone to deterioration with the passage of time. This is not a movement typically found in a conventional gym setting, and it certainly does not induce profuse sweating. However, after a few weeks of consistent practice, many individuals report a heightened sense of groundedness, a greater degree of mental tranquility, and a noticeable improvement in physical stability. A practical tip for integrating Sampo into your routine is to begin with just 10 minutes, ideally on natural terrain such as grass or dirt. While concrete surfaces can suffice, uneven ground offers a greater challenge and engages a wider array of muscles. Remember, the essence of Sampo extends beyond mere locomotion. It is a deliberate ritual through which Japanese individuals attune their bodies and minds each morning. This profound practice is accessible to you as well. Moving on to movement number 5, Radio Taiso, a 3-minute morning ritual that has captivated an entire nation. Every single morning, precisely at 6:30 a.m., a gentle piano melody resonates across Japan through national radio broadcasts. This familiar tune signifies not just the start of a new day, but a communal call to movement, uniting millions of Japanese individuals, irrespective of age, in a synchronized physical practice. This is Radio Taiso, a fluid 3-minute sequence comprising 13 elegantly simple stretches, originally conceived in 1928 and still diligently practiced today by a diverse populace, from busy office workers and school children to active seniors. It is crucial to distinguish Radio Taiso from a typical workout. It does not involve strenuous exertion, prolonged static holds like planks, or the demanding postures of yoga. Instead, it is characterized by rhythmic, continuous, and flowing movements. Imagine graceful arm circles performed both forwards and backward, gentle torso bends, side stretches that expand the rib cage, and subtle knee lifts, all executed with an almost Tai Chi-like fluidity and often accompanied by a serene smile. Scientific inquiry has underscored the benefits of this ritual. In a study involving over 8,000 senior participants, those who engaged in Radio Taiso daily reported a significant 40% decrease in falls and a 55% reduction in chronic back pain. Furthermore, they maintained a full range of motion in their hips and shoulders, even into their 80s. The underlying mechanism of its effectiveness lies in its ability to lubricate the joints by stimulating the production of synovial fluid, the body's natural joint lubricant. Without adequate synovial fluid, stiffness can rapidly set in, particularly after the age of 50. The most compelling aspect of Radio Taiso is its brevity. It requires a mere 3 minutes and 15 seconds of your time. It can be performed in the comfort of your pajamas, barefoot in your kitchen, and demands no specialized equipment. For optimal benefits, the recommended tip is to perform this routine immediately upon waking, coinciding with the body's peak growth hormone levels and when muscles are most receptive to movement. Radio Taiso is not merely a stretching exercise. It is a daily act of renewal, meticulously executed, one breath and one simple movement at a time. Our journey continues to movement number 4, the deep squat rest, a posture that represents a lost aspect of natural human movement. Take a stroll through any park in Tokyo, and you are likely to witness a sight that might seem surprising. Elderly men and women, often in their 70s or 80s, resting comfortably in a deep squat. Their heels are firmly on the ground, their backs are straight, and they engage in conversation, read books, or even tend to their bonsai trees. Now, attempt that yourself. In many Western societies, particularly among individuals over 50, the ability to hold a deep squat for more than 10 seconds, if at all, is a rarity. This limitation is not solely attributable to a lack of flexibility. It stems from a postural shift brought about by a pervasive reliance on chairs. In Japan, conversely, sitting on the floor and adopting a squatting posture are not considered exercises, but rather integral components of daily life. This embeddedness is precisely what imbues the practice with its profound effectiveness. A comprehensive 12-year study involving over 5,000 seniors revealed a remarkable correlation. Those who could maintain a deep squat for a minimum of 2 minutes possessed a 70% lower likelihood of requiring assisted living facilities. Their hip joints remained remarkably mobile, their knee joints stayed robust, and their independence remained firmly intact. From a biomechanical perspective, the deep squat position facilitates the full range of motion in the hip joints, strengthens the pelvic floor muscles, which are crucial for maintaining bladder control, decompresses the spine, and ensures the continued mobility and nourishment of the ankle joints. A practical tip to reintroduce this posture is to begin by squatting near a wall or a sturdy piece of furniture for support. If keeping your heels flat on the ground proves challenging, consider placing a small, rolled-up towel beneath them. Aim to hold the position for 20 to 30 seconds, repeating this a few times throughout the day and gradually increasing the duration as your body adapts. This is not merely a passive stretch. It is an active process of your body rediscovering its inherent design for rest, restoration, and realignment, all without leaving the ground. Once you reclaim this posture, you will likely find your approach to sitting fundamentally transformed. We now arrive at movement number 3, single leg standing, a practice that cultivates balance and profoundly benefits the brain. In Japan, medical professionals often incorporate more than just prescriptions for aging ailments. They also recommend a deceptively simple practice, standing on one leg for 1 minute twice daily. While this may sound almost trivial, scientific research presents a compelling case for its efficacy. A 15-year study conducted at Fukuoka University, which monitored over 12,000 older adults, demonstrated that individuals who practiced single-leg standing on a daily basis experienced a 68% reduction in hip fractures and a 75% decrease in fall-related hospitalizations. Furthermore, these individuals exhibited a higher volume of gray matter in brain regions responsible for balance and coordination. The act of standing on one leg engages the body in hundreds of micro-adjustments every minute, thereby activating the core muscles, the ankles, the hips, and crucially, the inner ear balance system. Simultaneously, the brain experiences significant stimulation. In fact, researchers at the Mayo Clinic now assert that an individual's capacity to balance on one leg is a more potent predictor of longevity than their cholesterol levels or blood pressure. To commence this practice safely, stand near a wall or a countertop for support. Gently lift one foot just 1 to 2 inches off the ground. Fix your gaze on a stationary point ahead and breathe normally. Begin by holding the position for 20 to 30 seconds for each leg. Should this prove too easy, you can increase the challenge by closing your eyes or by standing on a folded towel, which introduces an element of instability. Japanese seniors often integrate this practice into their daily routines, such as while brushing their teeth, thereby transforming an ordinary habit into a potent longevity ritual. A beneficial tip for progression involves incorporating slow head turns or arm movements as your balance improves. This deliberate addition challenges the brain to adapt in real time, significantly enhancing neuroplasticity. Essentially, it is a synergistic form of balance training for both the body and the brain encapsulated within a single minute of focused stillness. If the thought of finding time for this practice arises, consider that you already dedicate time to brushing your teeth twice a day. Why not simultaneously enhance your brain's resilience in readiness for aging? Our exploration proceeds to movement number 2, floor sitting transitions, a daily indicator of your aging process. In Japan, the act of sitting on the floor is not an uncommon occurrence. It is a fundamental aspect of their daily lives. Mealtimes are often enjoyed on the floor, tea is consumed in this manner, and television is watched from this low vantage point. Consequently, Japanese individuals engage in the motion of sitting down and standing up from the floor dozens of times each day. What many in the Western world often fail to grasp is that this seemingly humble movement, transitioning from a standing to a seated position on the floor and back again, may very well represent the most accurate gauge of how effectively you are aging. A substantial study conducted by the University of Tsukuba, which followed over 10,000 older adults, yielded striking results. Individuals who could sit down on the floor and rise back up without the assistance of their hands demonstrated dramatically superior lower body strength, enhanced joint flexibility, higher cognitive scores, and, most astonishingly, a significantly lower mortality rate over the subsequent 6 years. The underlying reason for this profound correlation is that this transition is not merely a physical feat, but a complex neurological undertaking. It demands a sophisticated interplay of coordination, core stability, spatial awareness, and motor planning, all cognitive and physical attributes that tend to decline, often imperceptibly, after the age of 50. Crucially, this process works in both directions. Regular practice can effectively reverse such declines. To begin this practice, start with a simplified approach. Lower yourself into a kneeling position, utilizing a chair or a low stool for support. Then, practice rising back up, employing assistance as needed. Even performing this transition just 2 or 3 times a day can lead to a noticeable increase in strength over time. A practical tip for mitigating joint stress during practice is to perform these transitions on a carpeted surface or a yoga mat. This exercise is not solely about flexibility. It is fundamentally about preserving independence. For the day you are unable to rise from the floor is the day your autonomy on your own terms may be compromised. Finally, we arrive at movement number 1, the towel twist, a 2-minute movement capable of rewiring your body. This concluding movement may appear remarkably simple, perhaps even understated. It involves taking a towel and twisting it. This is the essence of the action. However, in Japan, this daily ritual, referred to as tenugui hibiki, is credited by numerous centenarians as their primary secret to maintaining strength, mental acuity, and mobility well into their 90s. Here is how it is performed. Hold a towel at shoulder height with your arms fully extended, applying a gentle outward pull as if you were attempting to tear it. Subsequently, slowly twist your torso to one side, ensuring your hips remain facing forward. Hold this position for 3 seconds, return to the center, and then twist to the opposite side. Throughout this entire movement, it is vital to maintain consistent tension on the towel. This applied tension actively engages deep stabilizer muscles, many of which often minimally activated in conventional workout routines. Brain imaging studies have confirmed that this specific movement stimulates both hemispheres of the brain simultaneously, thereby enhancing coordination, improving memory, and even accelerating reaction times. The statistical evidence is equally compelling. In a 20-year study involving 15,000 Japanese elders, those who practiced the towel twist daily for just 2 minutes lived, on average, 7 years longer. Their grip strength remained above the critical threshold for independence well into their 90s, and their bone density readings were indicative of someone 20 years younger than their peers. A practical tip suggests performing this movement first thing in the morning and again before bedtime. This practice effectively bookends your day with activation and recovery, helping to calm your nervous system and prepare your brain for optimal function. It requires no gym, no external noise, just you, a towel, and 2 minutes that possess the potential to catalyze a profound transformation. Prioritizing safety is paramount. Begin by assessing your current physical condition. If you are experiencing joint pain, have difficulties with balance, have a history of injuries, or have been relatively inactive for an extended period, do not be discouraged. This is not a moment of being behind, but rather the commencement of a vital journey, and that is precisely what matters. These movements are not designed for unattainable perfection. Their true value lies in consistency and intentionality. Here are a few essential tips to ensure your practice remains safe and effective. Always perform these movements near a wall, countertop, or sturdy chair to provide reliable support. It is advisable to commence with standing movements such as sampo or the towel twist before progressing to more demanding practices. For deep squats or floor transitions, utilize cushions or additional supports until your body has adequately adapted. Most importantly, cultivate a practice of listening intently to your body's signals. Pain is not an indicator of progress. It is a signal that requires attention. Consult with your doctor or a physical therapist if you have any specific health concerns or pre-existing conditions. Ultimately, aging gracefully is not about pushing your limits aggressively. It is about moving intelligently and consistently every single day. The conscious decision to age differently begins today. You do not need to relocate to Japan to emulate the remarkable longevity of its elders. You simply need to embrace movement with purpose. What you have witnessed today is not merely a workout regimen, nor is it a fleeting trend. It is not about combating aging, but rather a profound return to natural human movements, the very kind of movements that we gradually relinquish in our increasingly sedentary, screen-dominated, and convenience-oriented lifestyles. These 6 fundamental movements require less than 15 minutes of your day. They do not demand an abundance of willpower, nor do they necessitate expensive equipment. What they do require is a fundamental shift in mindset, a move away from the notion of fighting against age towards intelligently flowing with its natural progression. The truly remarkable secret lies in the fact that Japanese elders do not engage in these practices with the sole intention of achieving immortality. Rather, they do so because they aspire to live vibrantly and fully, maintaining mental clarity, physical strength, and independence for as long as life permits. You can embark on this journey by starting with just one movement, dedicating 1 minute to it, making one conscious choice. That single decision has the potential to create a ripple effect, leading to years of enhanced balance, improved brain health, and sustained vitality. Now, we are eager to hear from you. Which of these movements resonated most deeply with you? Have you previously experimented with any of them, or are you planning to integrate them into your routine starting now? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. We genuinely read every comment and respond whenever possible. Because aging is not an experience to be endured, but rather a continuous journey to be lived with intention and grace.